We've been planning and preparing for over a year, but we still ended up getting our travel trailer a little sooner than I expected. Hi guys, I'm coming to you today from inside our new home. It's a 2018 Lance Model 1995 travel trailer. As I mentioned, we got it sooner than I expected, mostly because it's December, Christmas was coming up, we were pretty unsettled in our living arrangements still, and we bought us a Lincoln Navigator toward the end of November. And after we'd had that for 2.5 weeks or so, we decided to go take a long road trip. Really, it was just because we wanted to take our expensive new car out on the road and drive it a long ways. We did need some kind of a destination though, and we had seen this Lance 1995 listed on RV Trader in Draper, Utah. It's a Salt Lake suburb. So we thought, okay, we can use that for an excuse. We'll drive up to Draper, we can look at that trailer, and our sister-in-law lives up there in Salt Lake too, so we can stop and visit her. I shot a lot of video while we were on the trip, and I've tried to stitch it together to kind of tell the story of our trip and how we ended up buying the trailer. There were a couple of holes in the story, so I've shot a little bit of video afterwards to try to fill in the blanks. With all that being said, let's get right to it. Hi guys, we're taking our first road trip in our new vehicle. We are going to Salt Lake City via Albuquerque. We're going to Albuquerque and staying there tonight, and then to Salt Lake City. So we left around 10 from Oklahoma City, and we're just about to Texas. Flying down the highway. Let Peggy drive for a while. She doesn't want to be on camera, so we'll show you the back of her head there. And Phoebe's back there in a crate, snoozing. So we'll keep you posted. Stop for a break so we could let the dog stretch and rest for a minute and find a hotel in Albuquerque, and got that booked. So you can't see it very good, but in front of the vehicle in front of us there's a Class A RV towing a Lance travel trailer. Here comes that RV towing the Lance. Because I can't see the model. Alright, we have made it to New Mexico here in about 300 yards. And I don't know if you can see it on the video, but there are just trucks coming toward us for days. This I-40 is insane. I haven't been out this way in a few years. We haven't.
Here's a
It's a Grand Design. We've been looking at some Grand Designs, not big ones like this, but their fifth wheels are definitely popular. Driving through New Mexico. just gotta say, this car is awesome. It is a great vehicle for a road trip. Extremely comfortable, smooth, easy to drive. It's just a really nice experience. We made it to Albuquerque that evening and we got a pretty nice hotel. Got settled in, then we went to dinner at the Range Cafe, which our daughter Lindsay had recommended to us to check out for breakfast. Had a good dinner, we enjoyed it, and I really liked their funky decor. Hi, it's 10 o'clock Sunday morning. We're in northern New Mexico, heading toward Utah. Our maps tell us it's going to be around 5:20 when we arrive in Salt Lake. We'll see. Nice sunny day, cool. It's been a good ride so far. We stayed in Albuquerque last night, had a good evening. Went to dinner at the Range Cafe and they had some good food. It was a nice time. Exciting than western Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle as far as scenery and a little bit uphill and downhill and some curves instead of a lot of big long stretches of nothing. And this is a steep hill we're going down. You can't tell it in the video, but it is really steep. See how the dogs do. Oh, baby. This is what a lot of Arches looks like. We're going to stop in Moab and get some lunch. There's a little bit more of this beautiful scenery. We did take a break in Moab. We had some lunch. We booked an Airbnb and then we drove on up to Salt Lake City. We'll pick up with our story on Monday morning. In Salt Lake, Monday morning, kind of cold, cloudy. Taking Phoebe for a walk. She's really been a trooper. I forget she was even in that car. Laid that back there in her crate, in her bed, and just was quiet as she could be. Trying to let her enjoy her walk. Ruth's Diner for breakfast. Gone up in the mountains a little bit. There's Phoebe, getting a little break. Here's the Airbnb we're staying at. Little old place, guys, broken into two halves and remodeled a little bit. It's okay. We're fixing to drive to Draper to look at a trailer. But we dropped by the house to get Peggy's coat and let the dog take a break. So we'll check back in. Okay, we're on our way to General RV in Draper. They have a 2018 Lance 1995, and we're gonna go take a look at it. I kind of doubt we're gonna buy today, but you just never know. Everything's perfect, especially if they start throwing real low prices at us. We'll see. It's Tuesday morning in Salt Lake. Taking Phoebe for a walk. We went and looked at the trailer yesterday. I really like it. Seriously thinking about getting it, and really thinking hard about the logistics of getting it home. Tuesday morning we had breakfast at the Hub and Spoke Diner, which it was pretty good, but we weren't overly impressed. After breakfast, we drove out to our sister-in-law Trisha's house. We visited with Trisha and her sister, hung out for the afternoon, then Trisha fixed us some taco soup for supper. It was really good. We discussed the trailer we had looked at the previous day and decided we wanted to go ahead and get it. RVs and travel trailers in general have become difficult to come by since the pandemic began. It's kind of like the car market. They can't keep up with the demand, and used prices are high, new ones are high. We really like the Lance brand, and those are kind of scarce, so we thought we found one. It's really what we want. We probably ought to go ahead and get it rather than hoping we find something, a better deal, or something closer to home. We're at General RV, and we're working on buying an RV. Lance 1995 travel trailer, actually. After we left General RV, we went to the IKEA store, which was real nearby. We browsed around that for a while, and we just kind of took it easy the rest of the day. We went to P.F. Chang's in downtown Salt Lake City for dinner that night, and it was just a pretty good, relaxing day. We were feeling pretty good about things. We had gotten a new Airbnb on Wednesday because the first one we only booked through Tuesday, since that was originally as long as we were planning on staying before we ended up deciding to buy the travel trailer. So Thursday was supposed to snow. We thought we'll just kind of hang out here and take it easy today. On our way to eat breakfast Thursday morning, driving up Immigration Canyon to Ruth's Diner. And it's snowing, and it's probably going to snow all day. Hope I'm not doing something stupid by driving out here in the snow. See? My brother Ross was flying in Thursday afternoon, and Tricia was going to the airport to pick him up. So after she did that, they came over to our Airbnb and we hung out for an hour or two, and then we went to dinner together downtown. Then we walked around the City Creek Mall for a little while before calling it a night. Walking Phoebe in the snow this morning. It's very cold, cloudy. I'm gonna say they got 2 or 3 inches of snow. But there's some blue sky over there. So, it's gonna be cold all day though. We're going to go to the RV place and they're gonna have it all set up and show us how everything works. Put a hitch and a weight distribution set up on the car. And then we're going to unhook it, and well, they're going to show us how everything works. Then they're going to unhook it. We're going to go back tomorrow to pick it up. Hi, we're on our way to General RV. They're going to have everything open and working for us. They're going to show us how it works. Put a hitch on the car, get it all hitched up, set up. Then we're going to unhitch it and go home for the night and come back in the morning and get it, take it away. So, it's kind of exciting. We'll be back.
It's wired directly up to your batteries, but if your
Okay.
batteries are,
Okay.
yeah, your battery disconnect off, that's gonna be tough.
Okay, I got you.
And then this pops open. So in that compartment on that side, you have a little crank that I just.
So yeah, the walkthrough was kind of a blur. They covered a lot of information and they asked if you had any questions, but I didn't know the right questions to ask at that time. We did video the whole thing, and between the video and YouTube, we're pretty sure we can figure everything out we need to, and so far we have. After we were done at the RV dealer, we went by Marshall's to get a hat and some gloves for Peggy. And then we were going to meet Ross and Tricia at my Aunt Jean and Uncle Lynn's house in Draper. We hadn't seen them in 3 or 4 years, so we wanted to visit them. They're both getting up in age. We went over there and had a nice visit with them, and then we went to dinner with Ross and Tricia at the Garage Grill in Draper, which was really, really good. There it is.
Yeah, that's what you roll down the building.
We're all hooked up.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's my brother and sister-in-law out here. They're going to help me learn how to drive it a little bit. So we're just about to take off here. Wish us luck. After we picked up the trailer, we towed it over to Cabela's, which was nearby, and I practiced doing some backing and turning with the trailer with Ross and Tricia giving me a little assistance since they've had some experience towing a big boat around. This is Saturday now, and we had already decided we were going to wait until Sunday to leave Salt Lake because it was going to be well afternoon by the time we got finished picking up the trailer and practicing a little bit. Wanted to allow plenty of time for getting to our first destination, getting camp set up, so we just decided to wait till the next day and get an early start. So we drove over to Tricia's house and we're unexpectedly greeted by broken pipes in her attic spewing water all over her upstairs and leaking down to her downstairs in her basement. We spent the afternoon helping Ross and Tricia clean that mess up, and then that evening Ross grilled some steaks out in the driveway, and we had a nice steak dinner, and then we spent the night at Tricia's house and got up early Sunday to get going. Okay, here we are, really heading out with the trailer. You can see it back there through the back window. We're driving to Moab today, which really isn't very far, a little over 200 miles. But I think that'll be a good first trip. It's going to be through some real curvy mountains and stuff, so yeah, I think that's going to be plenty. We'll check in this evening at Moab. Bye. In the dark, and now I'm towing a trailer, but so far so good.
We're not in the dark.
Yeah, it's light, that helps a lot. But you can kind of see what we're up against here. So, kind of exciting. Made it to Moab around 3:30. We got a spot in an RV park, which was really empty. Not the tourist season in Moab in December. Once we got the trailer set up, we realized we didn't have any sheets or blankets for the trailer. We just really weren't prepared for towing the trailer home. We went into town and found a Dollar General. We bought some sheets and a light quilt, and we bought some towels and dish towels and washcloths, so we have some of the basics for the trailer for the next 2 or 3 days. That evening we went to the Spokane Center and had a really good pasta dish. It was a nice restaurant. We enjoyed it. Nice evening. The next morning we got up a little later than we wanted to, and I began to unhook things and found out the water hose going to the trailer had frozen because it got really cold overnight. And not only was the water in the hose frozen, but it was frozen to the trailer, so I couldn't get it undone. I didn't have any pliers or tools to speak of. So I was going to have to find a hardware store and find some pliers, and by the time we kind of got it together, it was getting too late to take off and try to drive to Albuquerque that day. So we decided to go ahead and stay in Moab on Monday and leave Tuesday morning to go to Albuquerque. And to complicate matters even more, the forecast was calling for extremely high winds in the plains on Wednesday. And we're talking the plains like between Albuquerque and Oklahoma City, and winds, the Amarillo forecast said 35 to 50 miles an hour with gusts over 60. I knew I didn't want to try to tow the trailer in that kind of wind. We decided we would drive to Albuquerque Tuesday. We would stay in Albuquerque all day Wednesday, then get up Thursday morning and drive home to Oklahoma City. Okay, we're on our way from Moab. We're heading to Albuquerque. It's Wednesday morning.
Tuesday morning, is it?
Tuesday morning. Yeah, it's Tuesday morning. We stayed an extra day in Moab because we didn't get an early enough start yesterday. And then it ended up being kind of windy today, so that's been kind of fun. But it's supposed to be really windy in Albuquerque and Amarillo tomorrow, so we're going to stay in Albuquerque and then leave Thursday to come back to Oklahoma, hopefully. We're, I don't know, 50 miles from Albuquerque, maybe less than that. Things got a lot better once we finally got out of the wind, which didn't happen till we were in New Mexico. It was really windy. And it's been kind of a long day, but our maps tell us we'll be there at 3:38, and it's just about 3 now, so another 40 minutes or so. And be able to park it for the night. It's really been a beautiful drive, though. We've had some awesome scenery. Here we are, just south of Albuquerque. We're staying at the Isleta Casino RV Park. Beautiful little kind of reservoir. There's a little river that runs into it, goes way back there. So I brought Phoebe out for a little walk here. She's been spending a lot of time cooped up. She was in the car all day yesterday. She's really been good. I bought her a crate. She just, Phoebe, come on. So anyway, we were staying here today because it's supposed to be really windy in the plains. We'd be going through Amarillo on the way home, and they're supposed to have like 35 to 50 mile an hour winds with gusts over 60, which is just insane. So we're just going to stay here today and then leave tomorrow. And this is just a really nice RV park. This is just beautiful, as you can see. And being December, it's pretty empty. Got this park to myself. See all the geese. Feels like home. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off and walk the dog around here. But be a nice day. We're just going to kind of chill today and enjoy this beautiful little park. We're thinking we're going to come back here and stay for a month. They have a real nice golf course just over past the park, and then you can see the casino up there on the hill. Great, huge casino. They got a hotel. It's really nice. Okay, we are on the way to Oklahoma City, back home. Or, closest thing we have to a home now, I guess. Actually, home is behind us. We're towing it. But we left Albuquerque about 7 to get ahead of the rush hour traffic, and we did a pretty good job. Went pretty smooth. We stopped at Klein's Corners for some breakfast, and now we are driving through New Mexico. Get to Santa Rosa before long, and then we'll get to Texas. And got a long day, long drive today. But weather's nice. The trailer's a lot lighter. Found out we were carrying a bunch of water I didn't realize we were carrying, so should get a lot better mileage. It's gonna be a good day. We finally made it back to Oklahoma. We got to Peggy's sister's house around 9 o'clock. It had been a long day. We parked the trailer and went to bed. We were a little up in the air of what we were going to do next, but the weather helped decide for us. This was Thursday when we got to Patty's. The forecast called for temperatures well below freezing on Saturday night, and that meant we would either have to winterize the trailer, which entails draining all the water out of it and putting antifreeze in the lines to keep them from freezing up, or we would have to connect to electric power somewhere so we could run the heaters. We decided we didn't want to winterize, so we moved the trailer to an RV park on the northeast side of town near I-35, and got us a site, rented it for a month, and got hooked up, and so that's where we are right now. We're probably going to be here until sometime in February, actually, because we have a couple of doctor's appointments coming up in February, and then we will get packed up after that and hit the road. So there you go. This episode really ran kind of long. There was a lot to cover. I had a couple of other episodes I was actually working on when the trailer purchase happened, and of course I knew that needed to take precedent over those other episodes, so we'll get back to working on those and get those posted up here pretty soon, hopefully. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and we'll see you all next time.